Hello and welcome to my video presentation. I am Dr. William Emmett Walsh, MD, certified allergist and immunologist, and author of How I Recovered from Dementia, my seventh book about our diet and the diseases it causes or worsens. In my videos, I have discussed how my diet, taught to me by my patients, is an essential and powerful treatment in controlling diseases. In my last video, I illustrated the deadly dangers of our modern diet by telling you a shocking story of the woman who recovered from a diet-caused coma and then died. In this video, I want to burrow a little deeper into what we know about diet-caused diseases, stressing their treatment, and why their poisonous nature causes so many of the diseases that plague us. How can I convince you that being careful of what you eat is necessary to stop or reverse your diseases? Let me try by citing a hypothetical example. Please imagine that our diet causes disease not because it contains too much of the aging chemicals, but because it contains a poison such as cyanide or arsenic. I will arbitrarily pick arsenic. The arsenic will act much like drinking or eating more of the aging chemicals than we tolerate. Now think about adding arsenic, very dilute and only mildly harmful, into your foods and beverages at every meal. Now arsenic will slowly, over weeks, months, and years, penetrate every part of your body, damaging all parts of your body. It causes or worsens any diseases to which you are genetically susceptible. Your genetic blueprint makes you susceptible to the diseases you suffer. I have already mentioned some of these diseases. They include diseases affecting the heart, eye, hearing, intestines, skin, brain, any part of the body you can think of. They also include the conditions like depression, autism, and anxiety. You do not feel well. You can't feel well eating poison daily, even if the poison is mild. Now let's turn our attention to the brain. What would be the effect of this arsenic-containing, nerve cell killing diet in childhood or young adulthood? How about a decrease in IQ resulting in a B or a C instead of an A in tests? Maybe the child needs an A to get into the advanced language or math group in grade school. Or the young adult needs A's to enroll in a prized high school, college, or graduate school. But these schools are close to the child or young adult, and they miss this opportunity because of the lower test results. Think that this is too far-fetched to be true? It is not. Studies show that avoiding the excess consumption of one of the aging chemicals, fructose, and somewhat decreasing another one, MSG, as a Mediterranean diet does, raises the IQ and improves school performance. Just think of the improved grades that would result from also decreasing the excess intake of the other aging chemicals, citrus and galactose. Maybe these better marks will bring consistent A's, leading to an unlimited future. Now let's go further in our thoughts. Accept the idea, which I believe is true, that the most delicate cell, the cell most susceptible to harm, is the immature or baby nerve cell when it is not covered by its protective cloak, the myelin sheath. This sheath covers the nerve cell's major communication with other nerves. This means of communication is a projection from the nerve cell body called the nerve axon. Further, accept my thought that the sheath protects the immature nerve cell only after the nerve becomes part of the brain. Before it can reach the brain, or as it reaches the brain, arsenic injures or destroys the baby nerve cell. This injured or dead cell cannot reach, refresh, and renew the brain. Damage from our theoretical arsenic poison to these immature nerve cells in children and young adults must be the reason for their decreased IQ and poor or test results. Much like consuming excess aging chemicals is the cause of the decreased IQ. Now let's shift our attention to the other side of the age scale, the adult. In the adult, the body defends the brain against poisons that reach the brain through the arteries that supply the brain. This is not a perfect defense because of their small size. Some of these poisons do get through this defense, but the defense is a pretty good one. Unfortunately, adults have suffered a lifetime of head injuries that also injure this protection of the brain, the blood-brain barrier. These injuries arise from playing sports, from falling with head injury, from silent virus brain infections, from immune reactions against brain tissue due to obesity and a sedentary lifestyle, and from the genes that weaken the blood-brain barrier. The damaged barrier allows damaging chemicals, in our example, arsenic, from the blood supplying the brain to leak into and damage these elder brains. The aging chemicals, or the arsenic in our example, damage the nerve cells in the aged brains. They also kill new baby nerve cells before they can reach and then be incorporated into the brain. Losing the brain refreshing these new nerve cells bring, the brains of the older folks shrink, age, and function poorly. Eventually, they no longer keep the afflicted adult or elder alive, and death triumphantly marches in. This is what we call the dementias. How do we stop this dread march to death? We cannot repair the blood-brain barrier, but is there another way to stop this brain damage? Yes. First, understand that many studies show that the brain can repair itself. It will repair itself if you stop flooding it with more than you can tolerate of the chemicals that age you and damage your mind. Free of this excess, your mind gains the opportunity to return to the thinking, planning, and self-care that dementia steals away. When I mention the dementias, I am including Alzheimer's and Parkinson's diseases, as I have both of these dementias, and I understand that Lewy body dementia is related especially to Parkinson's. These are three of the multitude of diseases caused by our diet and our genes. If you do not follow my diet, you will lose a great chance to reverse dementia. Although other diets slow the march of dementia, only my diet stops it and allows the brain to heal itself. I know my brain repaired itself when I followed my diet. I let it get on with its repair job, and it did the job well. Recall that the Mediterranean diet avoids excess fructose and partially avoids MSG. The value of avoiding these chemicals is best understood by examining a John Hopkins article in John Hopkins Medicine titled "Take Your Diet to the Mediterranean." This looks at the value of this diet in heart disease. It points out that the heart is helped by this diet, keeping the cholesterol healthy and helping the diet absorb blood sugar. This can prevent or slow or prevent the onset of diabetes and help in its treatment. It also cools inflammation that occurs in those who are obese and have a sedentary lifestyle. And this diet keeps the arteries flexible, resisting artery plaques, which also resist strokes and heart attacks. This shows the awesome power of avoiding excess aging chemicals. I hope I have helped you understand that excessive amounts of aging chemicals in our diet act like a sublethal dose of arsenic. Like arsenic, it ages you, poisons you, and makes you suffer many common diseases. My diet can reverse many of these unfortunate consequences. Thank you for coming to my video, and I look forward to seeing you at my next video. Like my shocking video, it should surprise you. I do not know if I would believe what I'm going to tell you if it had not happened to me.